Hey everybody, welcome to a very, very special episode of the Level Do podcast presented by Temple of Geek. I'm joined by Kurosh as always. Today we are at the Nintendo Switch 2 experience in Los Angeles. Literally, we're still in the parking lot. We just walked out.
Doug Bowser just left.
Doug Bowser left. He said, welcome towards actually $20. No, he did not say that. No, yeah. So we got to get hands-on with the hardware, games. We got to play with everything. We're going to have some stuff clipped in so you could see our experience. But yeah, I think we're gonna just spend like the next however much time just speaking about experience. Kurosh, what did you think of the show?
The overall experience was fantastic. I loved it. The presentation, everything, the hardware up front, and then getting a chance to go in, playing the tailored experiences. They had all these staff. There's so much friendly staff available there on hand with us, showing us what to do, where to go, how to get the most out of the experiences. All in all, like, they had so many different things that I want to dive into, but like a Mario Kart experience, Dunk Kong experience, and I think the GameCube experience were like the three biggest ones for me. And the Metroid one. The Metroid one was a standout, but overall it was great.
Yeah. So before we like dive into like the nitty gritty of it all, what was your number one game? And if you could rate this on like a letter grade, like scale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number one game is tough, but I think I have to say with the extra time we got in at the end, Mario Kart World kind of took it for me. They have the Grand Prix mode, which is fantastic, and then they have the knockout mode, which is, I think, the standout feature that we got to experience. Very close second is Metroid.
Yep.
How about you?
Number one for me, it was Metroid for the entire show until we went back and played Mario Kart again. It's just, yeah, Knockout Tour special. It's fun. If I were to give the hardware and everything that we saw like a grade, I'd probably say A.
Thank you. I missed that part on the hardware, just the whole thing. I would say this is a solid. I give it an A-. There's a few things I still have some reservations about.
Sure. Which we'll get into.
Yeah. But overall, like, it felt great. It looked great. It played great. And that's ultimately what I just want out of a hardware experience is, don't be a barrier, make it easier for me to experience the games.
Yeah.
And they did that. So.
Right on. Yeah, let's get a little more specific. Let's talk about the hardware itself. We walked in and it started with just like welcome tour of like us walking in. They had the console itself on a stand, but it wasn't on, so we got to feel it, touch it, hold it. And then they had all like the boxes and the camera and like the Pro Controller in like a glass case, so we got to see everything. But yeah, we got to mess with the hardware itself. The
lock.
I don't even know where to start. The screen's larger, it's nicer. I was able to bring my Switch 1 and hold it up to it, which we'll probably splice in here.
Yep.
The magnetic Joy-Con 2,
which was a big point for me.
Yeah.
And Danner, at least I know you were all some years. I was worried about that going into this. The locking mechanism felt like it was actually just full on ejecting it out. And then once it snapped back in, it was not going where I tried like dangling it a little bit.
I thought at first it was going to feel like flimsy and like, like I could just pull it out. No, there's like this button on the back. You hit it and it like shoots it out. It's very like strong.
Yeah, very tactile, very strong. You have to be very intentional to get it out, which I appreciate. Just I don't want to accidentally in the middle of playing handheld, spam it, and then all of a sudden my hand just like comes off the controller in the middle of like a boss sequence.
Yeah, that's like a
Mario Kart race.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I guess we'll stick with hardware. So
what did you think of the visuals of it? Like the way the screen looked on because when we did, it was primarily, I think, the Mario Kart when I did handheld.
Mario Kart's the only game that we played handheld, and it looks good. I am personally kind of bummed that it's not launching as an OLED screen, but the LCD looks really good. The extra spaces is nice.
Yeah,
I thought it worked smoothly.
The newer LCD and the frame rate, I think for me, was the combination of it looked beautiful. Like when they say games can run up to 120 frames per second, Mario Kart just looked so buttery smooth and so bright and visual. I think games that really can cater to it are really going to get the most out of it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a game-by-game case. I don't think it's going to be, like, for instance, I thought, not to down on it, but like Hogwarts didn't visually impress me as much.
Yeah.
I thought the frame rate was great, but it didn't look like it was optimized for what it was trying to do with the Switch.
When I was playing, you mentioned that it looks
Grainy
was the word you used. Yeah, like it ran well. Like it felt okay. Like it didn't feel clunky. But yeah, visually it kind of didn't look great. And it's the same thing with Cyberpunk as well, where like it felt kind of clunky and it didn't look amazing. I do think it's kind of a miracle that the fact that it runs on Nintendo hardware is great. And like, if I would like to play more of it. We only got to play it docked. I didn't get to play handheld or with the mouse mode, but I'm curious to see how it runs long term and in handheld as well.
Speaking of hardware, one thing we both got a chance to play around with, they did a lot of the experiences docked, and with that, the Pro Controller. What did you think of
The Pro Controller feels so good. So, the Switch 1 Pro Controllers kind of had this like gloss feel with like I guess like a matte kind of rubber texture at the bottom. The Switch 2 Pro Controller has that all around. It feels really smooth. The buttons feel good. They're not too like sticky, and they don't click loud like the Xbox does. Like the Xbox controller kind of feels like a Fisher Price toy. This feels not cheap, and it feels like high quality. And the back paddles on it, I was afraid at first that they would get in the way or that I would accidentally push it as you were playing. But no, it felt good.
They didn't protrude, which is a lot with paddles on Xbox Elite controller and on the DualSense Edge. They're often like a protruding element that and even the Steam Deck is probably the least big culprit of it, but they're usually like a protruded element that then you can press in or your hands can hit if you're not using them. This one is in like part of the controller and it goes even further in. I think Donkey Kong was the only time I felt like I was using it for anything.
No, so I don't think any of the games had a map.
Okay, maybe I'm off. I was spamming buttons off.
Yeah, Donkey Kong's crazy. We'll talk about it.
But they did say they're mappable. So like any game you can really go in and I think most of their games you can go in and map buttons appropriately however you feel. And I like that customizability. It felt like a little bit more of you'd like, hey, use it how you like. The one worry I have, and I have it for the main hardware as well as for the Pro Controller. Pro Controller always had, for the base Switch, always had great battery life. Battery life is my biggest worry with both the hardware and with the Pro Controller.
Yeah, I think
we didn't really get a chance to like test that out. So
reports at other outlets in the last week or so said that anywhere from like 2 to 6 hours, depending on the game you're playing, which kind of sucks, but whatever.
It's the base model. It's not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be any worse than this. So it's just gonna they're gonna iterate on this and it'll vary by game. I think the games I'm most worried about are like the ones that are using the mouse controls or using all the power in full capacity. So if they are smart about it or if they are more tailored experiences, we'll see.
For sure. We'll just quickly talk about the Switch 2 camera. They had Super Mario Party Jamboree plus TV mode. I don't know. Yeah. We skipped it on purpose because there's a mini game where like you have to scream, and neither of us wanted to do that. But
we knew we were recording all these after, so we're like, we gotta save our voices.
So, but it looked responsive. It didn't look like the old iToy or anything like that. It looked cool. Transitioning into something that did feel good that I was skeptical about at first was the mouse mode with the Joy-Con 2. It felt insanely good. Extremely responsive. It controlled way better than I was anticipating. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I think my biggest worry with it, and one of our colleagues or co-hosts for Level Blue, Danreb, was also curious about if you're not playing at a desk,
yes,
how does this really work? And we brought that up with the reps there. They let us use it on just like our jeans or on ourselves, because you're sitting on your couch, you're not always at a desk. So getting a chance to do that I did it for the
Dragon Drive
and
Metro,
and no, Mario Party, and it worked really well. Very tactile, very responsive. The haptic feedbacks really gave a sense of I can tell it's registering. I don't know. It still feels kind of like a gimmick in terms of a gameplay feature.
This is something I don't see them supporting long term. Kind of like with the 3DS, how like it was there, but they didn't emphasize it.
I feel like it's going to be like, unless this developer really tailors an experience. Again, I think Metroid handled it very well. The way that blended between mouse and one Joy-Con to two Joy-Cons, you were showing me
Seamless.
like that seamless, like level of just effortless, like just blending between the two worked really well. The other ones felt like more of a showcase for the feature as opposed to a full-fledged game. Mario Party could be cool, but I don't know. Not a loss, but I'm like, what are we really gonna see with this?
Right. Yes. Speaking of not a full fledged game, Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Party, the pack-in title that's not a pack-in title. We got to play with that a bit. So basically, what that is like a tech demo for like a hardware, how everything works. It's not worth $10. I can't believe it's not a pack-in game, but it really does help you like get a feel for how everything works. One of the things, there's like a mini game where you try to find the rumble feature.
Yeah,
it's heavy. Yeah, it's really good.
It's really like getting you in a sense with the haptic feedback. There's another one with teaching you frame rate. There's another one, you know, really educating you on the mouse sensitivity, the mouse feature. I don't think it's worth, but I'm still probably gonna get it.
I mean, I want to try it out. Right?
Those mini games are better than, for me, 1-2 Switch is what I compare it to.
Sure.
I did not vibe with 1-2 Switch at all. This one, I'm like, these are weird little mini games that I'm like, I want the record. I want the record for the mouse sensitivity.
He did set the record today, and I forgot to film it. That's on my bad.
I am the #1 mouse sensitivity man in this building today. Let the record show that. But I kind of appreciate those little weird kind of nerdy things.
100%. It's just not worth $10.
I agree. I think this was an easy pack-in kind of thing. I don't understand that decision at all. I will still get it.
Yeah. But no. It was a great way to like, if so, I guess we could transition into Metroid Prime 4, but when I started our session with that, you start in mouse mode, and I felt like it was going to be really hard to do. But for me, I play video games all the time. It wasn't that hard, but there's definitely a learning curve. But Welcome Tour will help with that.
Yeah.
Help you learn it like slowly over time.
So, okay, so we went over a lot of overview, kind of highlights on a few different games. Overall thoughts, I know you gave it a grade, but what do you think of this experience? Like, what would you say?
Well, I mean, it's not every day you get to get hands-on early preview of a new Nintendo console. This was like a bucket list item for me. This is one of the best experiences I've had so far in my career.
Yeah, no, this was a welcome surprise for me. I was not expecting to come to this. Yeah, turned out really great. Thank you, Myles, or thank you, Nintendo.
Thank you, Nintendo. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Nelia.
The staff was amazing, helping on every station, being very supportive. Overall, this experience as a whole, that was a great way to showcase what the Switch 2 is and what it's going to bring.
The games they picked really showcase everything: hardware, performance, fun.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And so you can expect a lot. We're gonna do individual videos for some of these games, highlighting Donkey Kong, Metroid, Mario Kart in upcoming videos. So look for all these videos to hit very soon.
Yep.
Thanks.
Talk soon.